Hello everyone, here's Karamjit Kaur. We as a Group C going to give a presentation on the case of Mustapha versus Culligan of Canada Limited, a legal dispute that raises important question about consumer protection and corporate responsibility. Imagine purchasing a simple bottle of water expecting it to be pure and safe, only to find a dead fly floating inside. How would you react? This is exactly what happened to Mustafa. Let's take a closer look at the detail of this case. Let's begin with the case introduction. Mustafa, a regular consumer, purchases a bottle of water from Culligan expecting it to be safe for consumption. However, upon opening the bottle, he is horrified to find a dead fly floating inside. The unexpected discovery caused him significant emotional distress, including anxiety, disgust, and depression. Deeply affected by the experience, Mustafa decided to take legal action against Culligan, arguing that their negligence led to this psychological suffering. Seeking compensation for the harm he endured, his lawsuit raises an important legal question that can a company be held liable for emotional distress caused by a product defect? Now let's talk about the parties involved and case fact. The case involved two main parties, Mustapha the plaintiff and Culligan of Canada Limited the defendant. Mustapha, a consumer, purchases a bottle of Culligan water from a local distributor. However, upon opening it, he is shocked to find a dead fly floating inside. This discovery triggered a severe emotional distress, including anxiety and disgust, believing that Culligan's negligence in the bottling process led to this contamination. Mustafa claimed the experience caused him significant psychological harm. As a result, he filed a lawsuit seeking compensation for emotional suffering he endured. Now, another team member will give a closer look into this case.
Hello everyone, my name is Kiranpreet Kaur and I'm going to talk about the key questions in the case. The first one is a negligence claim requires emotional distress to result in physical injury before it can be valid. Second, under what conditions should a product manufacturer be responsible for mental damage that appears after their equipment has been used without causing any physical injuries? Third one is the law requires what standards must be used to determine whether claims about emotional distress are valid. The second one is court decision. The court found that Culligan had the correct position in this matter, and the court dismissed the claim because psychological harm that existed without accompanying bodily damage did not meet the requirements for negligence. And the last one is the court decided that the harm was unpredictable, along with finding no evident connection between the product and emotional distress experienced by the groups. Now, moving forward to the next slide, I'm going to talk about the rationale behind the decision. The first one is the legal precedents. According to the court, the previous negligence cases showed that the physical harm served as a necessary basis for claiming negligence. The second one is forcibility. The utilities incorporated found that the emotional damage from the product did not meet the threshold of expected forcibility in the negligence cases. The third one is causation. The judicial review confirmed that no sufficient evidence proved the connection between the product and Mustafa's mental distress. And the fourth one is the importance of the physical injury. The Canadian negligence law requires the physical injuries over psychological harm to determine the compensation eligibility according to the code.
Hi everyone, my name is Nimrat Preet and today I'm going to explain the three legal principles that are involved in this case. These are mainly three. The first one is negligence, and the second one is forcibility and causation, and the third one is psychological harm. So, the first one, negligence, states that the court assessed whether the duty of care was breached by Culligan in manufacturing the water filtration system. Second one, forcibility and causation. The case explored the forcibility of harm and whether emotional distress can be seen as a direct consequence of using the product. And what are the direct results of using the product? Last, psychological harm, which directly relates with the mind of the customer. So, the court examined whether psychological injury could be compensated even in the absence of any physical injury. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Gauravdeep Singh. Today I would like to talk about the case outcome. The first one is ruling. The court dismissed Mustapha's claim for emotional distress. Emotional distress without physical harm was not sufficient to establish negligence. The second one is implications. The case reinforced that psychological harm claims must be backed by solid evidence and should meet legal thresholds. It reaffirmed the need for physical injury or harm for a successful negligence claim. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Arunpreet Singh. Today I'm going to explain the implications and the key ways for plaintiff and for manufacturers. First one is when there is no physical harm involved, cases dealing with emotional distress become extremely difficult to prove because it is very hard to prove in court and it is less visible than the physical harm. And the next one is the ruling identifies necessary legal criteria for establishing psychiatric damages within the negligence lawsuits. This means plaintiff must clearly demonstrate that the mental health was being harmed by the defendant. And for manufacturers, lawmakers expect business to exercise caution because of possible psychological injury claims, particularly in situations involving product related incidents. This is mainly where a product might cause harm leading to emotional distress claims. And the next one is legal precedent. To win a negligence lawsuit, the plaintiff must show a clear link between the defendant actions and harm suffered and show what could have been foreseen by defendant. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Deldeep Singh and I'll be continuing this presentation on the case of culligan, and I'll be talking about the questions which were raised during this case. And the first question which was raised was that can emotional distress be grounds for negligence claim without any physical injury? And according to court, the answer was no, as the court ruled that emotional distress alone was not sufficient and it had to be a physical injury for emotional distress as well. And the another question which was raised was that what was the significance of this case for negligence law in Canada? And for this, the answer was that the case tells that the physical injury is required for the any emotional distress claims, and it also highlights the importance of forcibility and causation in such cases. The another question which was that could a similar case succeed in future? And it could, if there are only stronger evidence and the emotional distress was foreseeable, and also the thing was that it should be directly linked to the product. And then the fourth question was that what impact does this case have on consumer rights? And for this, it tells us that it limits consumers' ability to claim emotional distress claims without any physical harm, and also it needs a clear proof of causation. So to conclude, the summary of the case was that Mustapha and Culligan of Canada developed a significant case which assessed to when emotional distress from negligence claims are without any physical injuries and could become actionable. And according to court's ruling, negligent students must demonstrate both causation and forcibility in their claims. And as per the final thought, Canadian law demands a solid proof from the consumers to succeed with the only psychological harms in such legal proceedings. And this was all. Thank you.